Ladies and gentlemen, what a crazy day in the NBA it has been. LeBron James has told the LA Lakers, I ain't coming back. And now, Kawhi Leonard has been traded from the city of Los Angeles all the way back to Toronto, Canada. The one and only Finals MVP in Raptors history is back on the team. This is crazy. Kawhi Leonard was just traded to the Raptors, and in exchange, the Toronto Raptors gave up Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, 2 first-round picks, a pick swap, and 2 second-round picks. Now, Kawhi Leonard is 35 years old, and obviously he's been known to get injured a lot. But even considering all of that, this is low-key a fleece from the Toronto Raptors. They gave up an all-star who ain't better than Kawhi Leonard and Brandon Ingram. They gave up Grady Dick, who they don't even play. And they gave up some picks for Kawhi Leonard. Again, Kawhi's 35. But he did just have, maybe his best season ever from a statistical standpoint. It's up there at least. He was just All-NBA second team, if I'm not mistaken, as well. He had a fantastic season. And now Kawhi Leonard is back in Toronto. And Shams reported Kawhi wants to spend the rest of his career with the Raptors. That is what he reported. Which is just hilarious considering this guy got traded to the Raptors, spent 1 season there, won a championship, and still left for the Clippers. For the Clippers. And now apparently this guy wants to spend the rest of his basketball days, the rest of his career, he wants to spend in Canada. That's crazy. Kawhi Leonard's back in Canada, and he is going to be playing next to Scotty Barnes. What a defensive duo that is going to be. Kawhi Leonard and Scotty Barnes are on the same team. That's crazy. This Raptors team's looking pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. This is they could be a title contender. I'm not saying they will be. I'm saying they could be. Okay, they could be a title contender in the Eastern Conference. I mean, you look at it. They got Emmanuel Quickley, they got R.J. Barrett, they got Kawhi Leonard, they got Scotty Barnes, and they got Colin Murray Boyles. That should be their starting 5 next season. Colin Murray Boyles, maybe he's what is he? He's like 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", something like that. I don't know. He's kind of a small center, but he's a pretty good one. All right. They've got Jakob Poeltl still. They've got Jamal Shed. Who else is on that team? Oh, man, I can't even think right now. I can't even think about who's in Toronto right now. But, bro, the Raptors have Kawhi Leonard again. Who would have thought this? Like, it was just a few days ago. It was reported the Clippers are willing to trade Kawhi Leonard, and his preferred destinations or the places he's willing to sign an extension are the 2 teams he left. He left in the dust. San Antonio. He left San Antonio. All right. He wanted to go sign with the Clippers. San Antonio traded him to the Raptors. He left them after winning a championship with both teams, being Finals MVP for both teams. He left both those teams, and he went to the LA Clippers, where it's been an up and down, 7-8 seasons he spent there. And now he's back. He's back in Toronto. And you know what? Good for the Clippers, honestly. Like I said, they got fleeced. When I say they fleeced them, it's from a Raptors perspective. Because from the Raptors perspective, they just gave up Brandon Ingram, who, though he was an all-star last year, he didn't really play that well in the playoffs. And what does Kawhi Leonard do in the playoffs? He plays pretty well. Ain't hard to tell. He's a 2-time Finals MVP. So they've basically just had a really great upgrade for their small forward position. But also, at the same time, from the Clippers' perspective, man, this isn't a fleece at all. They just got an all-star in Brandon Ingram. They got Grady Dick, who possibly could, be a solid player, and they got 5 picks, and maybe those picks aren't going to be worth a lot. And, those picks might not mean anything, right? I don't expect Toronto to be bad. They're not going to be lottery picks. Almost certainly not. But still, you get 5 picks. You can do something with those. Well, all right, we've seen that second-round picks just get traded. Hey, you want a second-round pick? You want a second-round pick? Here you go. Second-round picks just be getting traded. All right? Maybe they'll make another trade, but the Clippers have just their roster in the last 300 days has changed so much. When you think about their roster at the start of last season, it was Kawhi Leonard, it was James Harden, it was Bradley Beal, it was Chris Paul. None of those guys are on the team anymore. They have replaced those guys with Darius Garland. Oh, Ivica Zubac was on the team as well. So Kawhi, James, CP, Zubac, Brad Beal, all those guys are gone. And in their place, they've gotten Darius Garland. They've gotten Ben Mathurin, Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick. They've got a lot of picks. They got Keaton Wagler with the 5th pick in the draft that they got from the Pacers. Like, they have really changed their roster over the last, since the trade deadline, really. They have really just changed this roster drastically. So, honestly, good for the Clippers. Again, from a Toronto perspective, this is low-key a fleece. And from the Clippers perspective, good for them. Good for LA. Good for LA. This ain't even a bad trade for them. For the Raptors, it's honestly a great trade. So I'm going to be excited to see Kawhi Leonard in Toronto next season. And it'll be very interesting to see what the Clippers do. Brandon Ingram, by the way. Brandon Ingram back in the city of Angels, back in Los Angeles. That's where he started his career, if I'm not mistaken. He was an LA Laker, and now he is an LA Clipper. What a career Brandon Ingram's had. He's gone from the Lakers to the Pelicans to the Raptors and now to the Clippers. What a career that's been. So this is a very interesting trade. Honestly, it's a kind of a win-win trade if you ask me. Kind of a win-win trade. Because, Toronto was 1 game away. I don't remember how close they were versus Cleveland. But they were they were in a 7-game series with the Cavaliers in the first round. That could have very possibly gone the Raptors' way in Game 7. And then the Raptors are in the second round. And who knows what happens if Toronto plays Detroit. Maybe you'd think, okay, Detroit probably could win this, but maybe not. And now the Raptors have just added Kawhi Leonard to their team. So we'll see what they can do. Maybe they can make an Eastern Conference Finals run next season. All right, maybe Kawhi Leonard becomes the greatest Toronto Raptor of all time. Maybe Kawhi Leonard returns to Toronto, and in his first season back, he wins another ring for the Raptors. That's probably not going to happen, but could you imagine? Could you imagine if that happened? Kawhi Leonard comes back to the Raptors and wins another ring. You'd be the greatest Raptor ever. All right, I'm sorry, Kyle Lowry. I'm sorry, Vince Carter. I'm sorry, DeMar DeRozan. It's got to be Kawhi at that point, right? Right?